your asses whipped by a bunch of goddamn nerds. Nerds!
Sports, the infinite frontier. These are the rants, opinions, and discussions of the one and only sports nerds. Their mission, to talk about the major headlines in sports news, drink beer, curse loudly, and heavily criticize their favorite teams. To boldly rant where no fan has ranted before. And now, here are your nerds, Philip Ford, Max Andrews, and Carl.
Get those nerds! Nerds!
And welcome. We're all finally back. Number 36. I think it's been at least, a couple months since we've all been back.
It feels like forever.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Reunited and it feels so good.
Oh, good times. Good times. Yeah, a lot has changed. I mean, we're in the middle of we're basically at the end of the MLB Playoffs. We're in roughly almost the middle of the NFL season, and basketball is about to kick back off again.
And college football.
Oh, yeah. Middle of college football.
Halfway through college football.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's about 4 weeks left?
College football,
more
yeah.
than that.
I think it's like
4 or 5 weeks.
I was going to say, they finished before. I think they finished right around Thanksgiving, and then usually you have 3 or 4 weeks off before the Bulls start.
Yeah, because you got the conference championship game. I think is usually first week of December.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, hard to believe October's almost over. But how about them Indians, man?
How about the Indians?
Oh, God.
I tell you what, it's
Let's
the
get
best
started
thing in the
with
world that
shit
no one's talking about right now. It's great.
What's that, Max?
I said, let's just get started with this shit so we can get out of the fucking way.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta let Mike have some of his spotlight. Plus, we gotta make sure everyone knows about your hate.
World Series champions in the making. That's all I got to say. No, but seriously, though, this has been an incredible run for Cleveland. You just talk about this team individually. 2 of their best starting pitchers out for the entire postseason. Everyone said they were dead in the water. Couldn't do it. But what they didn't know is that Cleveland has probably top 5, top 3 best bullpens in the entire league. All we had to do was get our starters to around the 5th, 6th inning, and then we bring in all our relief pitchers and put this baby to bed. And we got the lineup that can manufacture runs any type of way. We got guys that can hit for power, guys that can run the bases, and the nucleus of this entire team has to be the manager, Terry Tito Francona. He's the guy who resurrected the Red Sox franchise, and now he's with the Tribe. He's been here for a couple of years now, and he's played this beautifully. Everything has gone according to his plan, basically. The only really good starting pitcher that the Indians still have left is Corey Kluber. He is their ace. He can pitch for 7 to 8 innings easily. So it's like when Corey Kluber's up there, you know he's going to take care of business. Everybody else, you can keep picking your nose. I don't give a shit, Max. And just get it to the bullpen with these other guys. And it's been great. And no one's been really talking about him. If you watch any of these games, you will see that the coverage is so biased. He even muted his microphone so we can't hear him talk shit. Look at him. He's cracking up. If he was white, he'd be blushing right now. But
it's not my fault baseball sucks, bro.
Dude, baseball's been great this year, man. Like I said, I'm going on here like a little girl, about my first crush, but this has just been an amazing run, man. And it's I'm really looking for it. I mean, and I think the Indians have a really great shot. So that's it. That's all I got.
All right. Well, what about the competition? Who else is in the running right now?
The Cubs and the Dodgers. Right now, the Cubs are 1 game away from the World Series. So we'll see if they can not break the heart of their fans.
What What's their series at
They are up 3-2.
right now? 3-2.
I
All right.
I think they're at home.
Who did we say was going to win at the beginning? The Dodgers?
Huh?
Did we pick?
I don't know that we picked baseball.
I don't think we picked.
Last year we
pretty-
did.
Yeah,
if
we
I stick with
picked
my
last
last year
year.
picks, I'm good. Because I had the Indians.
Run was last year's picks because we had the Dodgers, and the Indians.
That's right, we did. That is true.
And look how we are fucking awesome at this. Like, yeah,
We are so
2
close.
years away, we're picking shit up.
I know, right? We are the oracles. Just
Dude, yeah. Fuck,
we should all go to Vegas and just put money on stuff for 2 years in advance.
fuck everybody at
Super Bowl
ESPN.
53.
Fuck any of these other podcasts. Fuck anybody at ESPN. We got the real shit right here on Sports Nerds.
That's right.
Oh, shit.
I love it.
Yeah,
It's money in the bank.
But yeah, so Indians are going to win the World Series. I think it's going to be against the Cubs. Dodgers, all they have is Clayton Kershaw, and he can only pitch
Oh, yeah.
every other day, not every day, unfortunately for them. And it sucks because I am a Dodgers fan, but they just don't have the pitching to match the Cubs. So it was fun while it lasted, but I see that it's going to be Cleveland and Chicago, two of the everyone knows Cubs haven't won in like 100 years. Indians haven't won since the 40s. So it'll be I think it'll be a pretty epic series, but I think the Indians are going to win.
Which team? I saw that pitcher who he hurt himself in a freak drone accident.
Oh, that was the Indians.
Yes, that is the pitcher Trevor Bauer. He's either really good or he's really bad. Like every time he pitches, so it's like when he goes out there, he's either gonna pitch you a complete game like perfect, or he's gonna give up 10 runs. But he was pitching really well, and then he sliced his finger doing drone maintenance, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
So he was pitching game 2 of the ALCS, American League Championship Series against Toronto. Didn't even make it past the first inning because he's throwing 95-mile-an-hour fastballs, and he's still got these stitches in his finger, and it's just gushing blood everywhere. It's cold through his pants. He's trying to like wipe it off on his jersey, but it just keeps they're showing him just holding his hand down like this, and it's just dripping like there was a lot of blood. And people are like, oh, why can't he just like glue up that wound? But it's like, actually, I believe that's a banned substance or whatever that they use to like, it has to be like stitches.
Oh.
To handle the baseball.
Yeah. I would think blood would help him.
Glue.
Well, I mean, like, as long as he doesn't get blood on the baseball, like he could have kept pitching. But
okay. So he can't throw a red baseball.
Correct. Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, you can't put any substance on the ball.
Okay.
You're only allowed to bleed on the stitches.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could get not the stitches on his finger, stitches on the ball.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Max, baseball is amazing, and hot dogs are pretty damn good too. So
Dude, okay, don't even fucking get me started about your bullshit fucking bologna tubes. Okay, I can't
give you a bologna tube.
Oh, I don't know if I want that. I don't know if I want to see that bologna tube.
No one wants to see a bologna tube ever.
Phil, do you like hot dogs?
Oh yeah,
Phil?
I enjoy a hot dog.
I will make you a delicious bologna tube any day of the week, man. Like I go all out. I like put like chopped onions with some cheese, maybe some chili on there, or maybe like nice pickles. Like
add like 4 slices of bacon, take off the bologna tube, and we're good to go.
You need to go to Dirty Frank's. Dirty Frank's downtown. Dirty Frank's is a hot dog place.
You're not the first person
to 16-bit.
I used to work right down the block from that place. I've eaten there.
I know you did.
Fucking terrible.
Oh, shut up.
It's so gross.
Shut up. No, but Phil, you'd like Dirty Frank's though. Check it out sometime if you ever
check it out.
But yeah, so
I mean, I'm down because I can go to 16-bit while people stuff fucking bologna in their mouth.
Well, we can go to 16-bit and get carry out and go eat it at 16-bit, and I'll beat your ass in NBA Jam.
Oh, there we go.
No way. You don't know the first thing about an NBA Jam.
Oh, I'll be the Cavs, and I will kill you.
All right.
You have no shot.
Are we done with baseball? Are we finally fucking done with baseball?
Well, no, so I got to actually chime in a little bit there, Max, too.
Okay. All right.
So, I mean, I do
Please
agree.
do. Please do.
Let's just get it all out because I'm fucking about to pull my hair out. And it's pretty short, so that's hard to do.
I think that might be worth it for us to just keep going, just to see how you manage to do that. We'll just keep the camera on you,
this would
and
be
we'll
like
continue talking about baseball.
See me with tweezers pulling my hair out.
Oh man, but yeah, I agree. I think the Cubs. At first, I didn't think the Cubs were going to make it when they got down, and it just seemed like they were putting too much pressure on themselves, and they've been the best team all year. But I do agree. I think once they get to the World Series, it's going to be a lot harder for them. And I also agree that if the Dodgers had made it, the Indians would have just spanked them bad. I think the Indians and Cubs will be a lot more competitive. And I agree with you. I think people are writing off the Indians too soon. So we'll see. I think it'll be a fun series to watch. I'm gonna actually try and catch a few. I know one of my coworkers was gonna try and go to a game, and then he saw the prices, and he's like, "Wow, I don't know if I really want to go to a World Series game because I think it was $300 to sit in the nosebleeds."
Hey man, fucking these guys gotta get paid. All right, they gotta pay this dude $20 million to sit down.
I tell you what, man. If I wasn't working the next day, and if I didn't have responsibilities at home, like I would be there on Tuesday night next week. So Game 1 of the World Series is going to be a Progressive Field, literally right across the street. Like any of us could like throw a football to it. Is the Quicken Loans Arena, the Q. It is opening night for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they will be unveiling their championship banner and be passing out their championship rings. So the epicenter of like big-time major summer, spring championship sports is going to be the epicenter will be Cleveland, Ohio. It is 2 out of the big 3 are playing for championships, man. Well, 1-1, and then you know.
Look at me right now. Look at me. I'm Derek Jeter in his prime. Look. That's it.
What does that mean?
That means for half the time he's just fucking sitting there. That's what that means.
Whatever. Dude, you can hate all you want, but right now we are living in a time period in the history of the world where Donald Trump is running for president, and the Cleveland is the epicenter of sports right now. So basically, anything can happen.
Hell has frozen over. This is the Armageddon, and the end is nigh. Is basically what you just said.
This is actually a public service announcement for everybody to gather supplies, and, get your bug out bags, and go to Dick's Sporting Goods, Field and Stream, Gander Man, wherever, and load up on equipment because hell yeah, it's coming. Armageddon's coming. When Cleveland is the epicenter of sports, it's
not a good look.
Yeah, our time on this earth is not much longer.
Enjoy every last moment. I hope all you Cleveland fans are happy. You just like ushered in the fourth horseman of the apocalypse, but at least the one, right?
Hey, I'll take it. I'll go to the grave knowing that we were champions.
Yeah, I don't know if it's quite. I think if the Browns were winning in this same year, I think that would be the fourth horseman. I think we're only on the third horseman's coming right now.
Yeah, I probably have to agree with Phil. When the Browns the Browns are finally good, yeah.
Oh yes. So Indians win, that's like pestilence, and then when the Browns win, it's like death.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yes. So you should start, building your bunker now.
Exactly. Get ready.
It's too late though. It's already too late.
Have you seen the Browns play this season? It's terrible.
It really is. I feel bad.
You got time. Time.
This is a good segue because
I was gonna say, and now we're talking about the Browns. We can segue right into the NFL.
Josh Gordon. Okay, I picked that dude up.
I don't want to talk about Josh Gordon.
I think both of you are bitter.
And I'm like, all right, it's cool. He's sitting out. He's going to be fresh 5 weeks in, I'm going to have a fresh Josh Gordon. This is only good things because it doesn't matter who's throwing him the ball. That guy likes to set records.
Yeah,
But
and he balled out in preseason too.
So he chooses after his mandatory 5 weeks of he could have gone to rehab then.
Yeah.
He waits until the end of it and then decides he's going to rehab. Fuck that dude.
Well, I think there's also rumors that they never made public that he failed something, and that's why he went to rehab.
Yeah, that and him and his entourage were caught with a significant amount of ganja on them too, at a Cleveland private airport.
What a dumbass!
Yeah,
I'm just like,
he's not very.
That dude literally has all the talents in the world. He would be a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
Yep, him and the guy from Jacksonville. Oh God, I can't remember what he couldn't keep it straight either. Yeah, because anytime he got on the field, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, he was amazing.
What are you doing?
Hey man, but that's what you get with hanging out with Johnny Manziel.
I mean, like over some weed, like. I mean, if it was cocaine, if it was heroin, I would understand. Like, these are substances you are physically addicted to. Over some weed? You're going to lose millions of dollars over some weed?
It's all over. Yeah, it's all over that.
Yeah.
There's never been anything like rumored like outside that. Yeah, it's strictly, yeah.
Ridiculous.
But I know, man. But we move on. Now we got Trail Fire.
We took Mike from this high and then just and drove him into the ground.
The Cleveland Browns are there for the sole reason of keeping these Cleveland fans humble.
It's false hope. That's all it is. It's false hope. We just we're a big. I mean, Ohio's a big football state. Home to the Hall of Fame, all that good stuff, and just so Cleveland was the first NFL dynasty ever, and so there's a big following for it. But yeah, it's just never been the same. I don't think it will ever be the same, to be honest with you. But it's nice to see. It's nice to see us win our little battles here. But enough about Cleveland. Let's talk about the NFL. I'm getting depressed now talking about Cleveland. Let's talk about old Cleveland. We weren't talking about new Cleveland, and you guys had to start segueing into old Cleveland, and it's bullshit. So, NFL, biggest surprise this year. For me, the biggest surprise in the NFL, I have to say, is the Minnesota Vikings. Teddy Bridgewater literally breaks everything in his knee. Breaks, tears it, sprains it, I don't know, whatever, twists it.
All of it once.
Pulled it, everything in his knee, just fucked. And everyone's like, okay, well, they are done. They go out and trade for Sam Bradford. Everyone thinks that is the stupidest thing in the world. And now they're undefeated.
Yep. Oh, and they also lost Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, oh yeah, and they lost Adrian Peterson.
But he was ineffective.
Yeah, but because of Bradford, right? Because he wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, and it's you could only box AP in for so long. I mean, eventually he's just gonna dominate. I mean, there might be, sure, there's those games where he's only get 50 yards or whatever, but there's going to be other games where he's getting 150 yards. But yeah, it was a big loss. But they're doing it. They're playing amazing defense and they're manufacturing touchdowns. So
yeah, that Minnesota defense is the big surprise for me. I was just like, I didn't even know that was possible. These guys are just. Everyone's like, look out for the Broncos. Won the Super Bowl and everything, and then Minnesota was like, oh yeah, there's also this team up here in Minnesota that might have something to say about defense. Learn you a thing or two. They're ridiculous.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I would say for me the biggest surprise is probably it's kind of a tie for me. I would say Minnesota, but Carolina, how awful they are, and it's not just. Not Cam Newton. It's that defense. The defense just isn't the same, which I don't know that I believe Josh Norman meant that much to that team, but I don't know. It's just they lost their mojo and it's gone.
If that's the only thing you can point to, then that's obvious, what changed? Apparently Josh Norman was the heart and soul of the defense, and they can't function without him. And then on top of that, you have just, this team that should have all kinds of offense. So even if their defense sucks, they should be able to make it back on offense, and there's just nothing. And like Cam Newton is you can sub Cam Newton in for Brock Osweiler on your fantasy team, and you're getting like the same numbers or better with Brock Osweiler.
Yeah, I think depending on the matchup, that'll probably be the case. I totally agree with you guys. Yeah, definitely another big surprise has definitely been the Panthers. They're a huge fall from grace. I don't think it's just Josh Norman leaving. I think it's also their linebackers like Luke Kuechly. He's amazing, but he's also a walking concussion case. You got Thomas Davis Jr., who's like been in the league forever. He's old.
I think it's age.
I think it might be age, but then they also got a bunch of young guys in their secondary too, and so it's like either it's just they got too many young guys and too many old guys and not enough in between, or it's coaching on that defense. And yeah, and offense too. It's amazing like what's going on with Cam Newton and all those guys. I mean, Jonathan Stewart's been banged up, and so that's really hurt their running game. But I mean,
they got what Kelvin.
They still got Funchess and Greg Olsen and Kelvin Benjamin at his disposal. And I mean, they started off a little hot. I mean, fantasy point wise, and they won their. They lost to the Broncos, but yeah, they just haven't been sharp, and they basically returned the same team offensively. I don't know. It's been a big mystery. And then you got Cam Newton just acting like a little bitch too about like, and I really like Cam Newton too, but it's like he's just these press conferences after he loses, he's just short and just.
I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about the press conferences. Like, and people are all up in arms about how they act at the press conferences. I'm like, well, look, stop making these guys go to the stupid things, and we won't have these problems anymore. They'll go when they want to, when everything's good, and you won't ever see anyone act the way he's acting. Like,
but like they're contractually like obligated to like do these press conferences and shit like that, and I'm
just like, stop that, because they're people. They get frustrated, they get angry, they get upset, and then
that makes for good television.
Yeah, and I'm like, fuck, like if I just got my ass kicked and I'm Cam Newton, like there should be no instance where he's getting his ass kicked the way he is. I'm not gonna be.
We don't got to be like a little grouch about it, like, I don't know. It's just.
I get it. I'm just like, he's just a dude. And if he's the kind of dude that gets all pouty after he loses, then that's just the kind of dude he is. And you can't expect someone, because he's a person. Like, you can't expect someone to feel like, like when I lose real hard. And like, I really liked getting banged around as much as I did. And I'm glad they were freaking throwing me around like a rag doll. Like how, what do you expect from the guy is what I'm saying. Like,
no, I hear you.
He doesn't have to be short and stuff like that, but maybe if he's that kind of guy, he's just that kind of guy. And you can't, I feel like these contracts are not taking into account like that they're actual people.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, the whole nature of the sport is, it is what it is. Like they're, they don't treat them like people at the end of the day when it comes to
no, they're gladiators.
Football. Yeah, but it's funny that we're talking about this. Cam Newton being a little pouty. I think it's a perfect segue into another NFL player that's been a little pouty, Odell Beckham Jr. My first-round draft pick in the fantasy league.
Yeah. How's that for you?
Pretty good last week. I don't know about you.
I like the last week caveat on there. Every other week, though.
Well, yeah, every other week, yeah. It has been pretty bad.
Oh my God! So, ODB gets into a fight with a kick, the
kicking net, yeah,
the kicker's net there, and loses. And then,
he fought the law, and the law won.
You see him crying on the sidelines when he's having a bad game, just throwing temper tantrums. Now this is what I think is, if you're going to get on Cam Newton about how he acts at the press conference, we need to double get on ODB about how he acts on the field.
Oh, yeah.
He's supposed to be doing it.
I agree.
And I mean, like, when he's out there celebrating, like the next week he came out, he was having a good game. So, he's proposing to the kick net, and he's doing his little end zone dances and whatnot, and everything's all good. But yeah, that dude's way too emotional. Like, I mean, on the field is where you're supposed to be I feel like you're supposed to be the role model. Like, I could give a fuck about the press conference afterwards, but you're supposed to be showing people, like, I'm the man, I'm here to do this, and it doesn't matter my opposition, I'm going to get the job done. And ODB has not shown any of that this year.
No, and it seems like I didn't actually see too much of what happened apparently last year, but this all stemmed from last year of him supposedly being a dirty player and doing cheap things. I've never actually seen it, so I can't really say. I mean, I've seen replays, but it's hard to say.
Yeah, it's him and Josh Norman. They're the ones that they had this huge beef, and it just dragged on throughout the game. Like, that's where it started with Beckham being such a diva, because before that it really wasn't.
No, it wasn't big news. And then, well, not only that, but then this year when it really wasn't so much last year, but apparently they said his temper tantrums started last year. And it wasn't until this year that it became a lot more publicly visible, like what Max was saying, with on the field, doing dumb shit, losing his mind, not even in a positive way, at least with Des Bryant. When he loses his shit, it's because he wants to win, not because, oh my God, they're not throwing me the ball. Oh my God, that guy's being mean to me. It's bizarre.
In the first few games of the season, you're seeing Odell Beckham get beat. You're seeing him just not catching the ball, easy catches. This dude is all about the one-handed catch. He can't catch the ball when it drops right into the breadbasket, and then he's throwing fits. And I'm just like, look, man, if you're hot shit, then that's great. But if you're gonna sit here and be a fucking piece of shit, then why? The commercials must have got the Head and Shoulders must be doing something to him, because it's
that's why I don't use it.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, you're supposed to be this all-star guy, and the easy things you lost sight of, and now it's hurting him. It's just making him look ridiculous. So I mean, I hope he just gets his head back into it, and because that dude made some fucking crazy catches last season. Mm-hmm. He caught the ball with fucking 3 fingers one time. Yeah. I want to see more of that.
Well, I mean, it's not just him that's messed up on that team. It's the whole. I mean, it's the whole team. Eli Manning hasn't done shit this year, and I can tell you firsthand because I have him in every single fantasy league that I'm in.
Yeah, good pick.
He's supposed to be steady, and they haven't been able to throw the football. They haven't been able to run the football.
Well, I mean, who do they have? Rashad.
And now we can segue into Josh Brown, who is, it's just that whole team's a dumpster fire right now. I mean, yeah, I know the Browns are always a dumpster fire, but at least our problem isn't about this, some woman beater, so we're just a bad team.
Go ahead, Max.
Oh, so no.
Oh, I thought you were saying something.
No, you're good.
Okay. But, yeah, so, it's interesting because he doesn't seem to be getting the same treatment as, oh, my gosh, what did I forget? Hardy. Yeah, Greg Hardy or Rice, which is interesting, which apparently I just looked at a couple of articles, and he's admitted to being an abuser in, letters to the police, to everything. And, yeah, he's on the – oh, God, because the exempt list, I think, is –
Yeah, the exempt list. So you still get paid, but you don't. But you can't play.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Paid work leave.
Yeah, exactly. Which is interesting because I think, oh, that's right. He got all up in arms because they had a fit for. Was it Rice that got suspended and then he had to put on the exempt list because he had to get paid or something like that?
That was Adrian Peterson.
It was AP. That's what it was.
Beat the shit out of his kid, and they suspended him that whole season, except he could still get paid.
Yep. And so that's apparently what they're doing with Josh Brown, since they say there's no evidence other than him admitting to it.
Yeah,
you can't take
literally all the evidence you need.
He's a known liar and a known wife beater, so we can't trust his word. Even was beat his wife.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's interesting, and we will go from the chaos that is well, I guess the Giants aren't a terrible football team. I think they're 500 right now, but
Yeah.
to a surprising, somewhat better team maybe in the Bills. Definitely not gonna go to the Jets. The Jets just suck. They're terrible.
Oh God, Fitzmagic.
If we want to go there, we can talk about Fitzpatrick and the explosion that he had.
Can we talk about Fitzmagic, please? Because this guy
Let's do it.
has the magical ability to make the defense get the ball. Like, better than anyone else. He's like, watch the ball disappear from my hand and reappear in this defender's hands.
And he does it all for the price of a measly $12 million this season.
Oh my God. What was this dude trying to get? He's waiting out everybody. He's acting like he's hot shit. This dude is the shittiest fucking quarterback.
Aren't you glad the Broncos didn't take him?
Oh my God. I am so glad. Of course,
they were looking at him. They were looking at him seriously back in the offseason.
Yeah, and
he just wanted too much.
It might have been
it
might have been a good fit. I mean, we've got some solid receivers, but I don't know about like how our scheme might work to his strengths, but they gotta fucking do. Or no, they sat him. That's what they did.
They're gonna start Geno.
Yeah. Fucking ridiculous. This dude is just bleeding points. Like, oh.
I think his ability to give the other team the ball doesn't really match up with any type of coaching scheme, possible out there. Like, I'm sorry, we can't start you because you're talented at giving the team the ball, and we don't want to do that. So,
it's magic. Oh my God, it's that dude. It's just fun to watch. I'm just waiting. It's like you're waiting for it, and then blam, it happens. You're like, oh, I didn't see it coming.
Like, if you're Brandon Marshall, like, how dumb do you feel? Because he was the one that was like leading the charge to like, we need to bring back Fitzpatrick and we need to pay him and blah 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 blah. And we're not gonna do shit.
Fitzpatrick is doing his best Andy Kaufman right now. He's just like trying to piss everybody off because he thinks it's so funny. That could be the only explanation.
Oh shit! In that city, that's not a good place to do that because you'll permanently be remembered. Oh my God!
That's crazy.
It was interesting that happened, and I don't know that I don't know. It's bizarre because he's supposedly one of the smartest quarterbacks, and he's making some of the dumbest decisions. So,
I mean, like as Craig Krenzel, all the brain power in the world isn't going to make you a better quarterback.
Hey, it'll work in college, but it won't work in the pros.
I mean, the dude's a freaking microbiologist. Doesn't make him any better a quarterback. Like you can only I don't know if he's just not physically capable of handling being a quarterback anymore. If he just had that one magical season and now it's all gone to shit. I don't know. But that dude in fucking is just he's so terrible. I can't believe they didn't sit him sooner. Like. Why would
you had to hope, right? You had to hope that he's going to right himself, and like he's a true starter, right? You give him that opportunity. I mean, you don't sit Eli after his 6 or 7 or Favre.
6 interceptions and no touchdowns in a game. That means you sit down.
Eli's done that.
That means you sit down.
Yeah.
I was like, Eli has done that. I remember a few times when people are like, what the hell is Eli thinking? Oh, my God, he just threw 6 touchdowns in the next game. Okay, well, he's good.
Yeah, Eli's got the upside, though, because Eli's either gonna have the worst game or the best game of the season, on every
Can we please not talk about Eli Manning anymore?
Eli Manning is, at least he's got the potential to score you some points. Even when he's not ever scoring any points, he's throwing interceptions, he's playing like hot garbage, he can't get shit together.
So apparently we've touched another sore spot for poor Mike.
It's not my fault you fucking picked Eli Manning, you loser.
There are no good free agent QBs in any of my leagues, and it's terrible.
You can try to go with
Okay.
Alex Smith.
How about
But
how about Marcus Mariota?
I tell you what, how about Dak Prescott? You
Yeah.
guys paid attention to the Cowboys this year?
I mean, Zeke.
Dak Prescott and Zeke? Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely – Dak Prescott's been in a surprising spot because no one expected him to actually perform. And then when everyone said, oh, yeah, he's going to basically be set because he didn't seem to be grasping the complete offense. Like, he was doing good, but – the ability to score in big plays or do efficient, basically plays to get him down the field in a 2-minute drill. He actually did it the last game. So now the real question, because I actually have a guy at work who's a Cowboys fan, and I keep asking him every week as it goes on, like, what's he thinking? Yeah. Because I'm like, I'm watching it, and if I just from the outside, I'm like, I would be keeping Prescott in until you prove otherwise, because at this point, you have a proven veteran ready to go. If you can buy it and say he needs time to heal, and you can just tell Tony, go enjoy yourself, relax.
Yeah, and I totally agree. Like you gotta ride the hot hand, man. And these guys have been unstoppable, and their defense sucks.
Yep.
I mean, their defense has sucked for a really long time, but they have the best offensive line in football. Zeke is looking like one of the top running backs in the league. They're doing this all without Des Bryant, mind you. They're doing it with a guy named Cole Beasley and Terrence Williams, and it's amazing what they're doing. And Dak's at the head of it, man. He's been a game manager and he's been a playmaker when they need him to. And I agree with you, Phil. I think you ride this hot hand, and if the time comes, you can throw Tony Romo in there, but I'd say you don't miss up a good thing.
I think Dak Prescott is going above and beyond right now. He's playing smart football. Like, that's the thing. He's not making the dumb mistakes which you expect to see from the rookie, and that's really saving them. I mean, of course, they got Zeke. He's been a workhorse. He's staying healthy. So, that's all good things for a team, when they're on their back foot, but Dallas is insane. I think I wish Zeke all the best, so I hope they do good, unless they're playing the Broncos, then they can die like dogs.
You can die like dogs.
I'm not even touching that.
It's really cool. You're seeing a lot of really surprising play from the rookies this year. I mean, you have Dak Prescott, you got Carson Wentz. I know Marcus Mariota isn't a rookie this year, but he's still a pretty fresh quarterback. You're seeing a lot of good play from him too. Who else is doing good this year?
I can't believe Carson Wentz. It's a sore subject with me with the Browns because we could have had Carson Wentz, and the dude has been tearing it up. It's so funny about Carson Wentz because throughout training camp, the offseason, they were acting like Carson Wentz was not even going to see the field this year, and that he was nursing some bruised ribs during the preseason. Then all of a sudden he's starting day one, carves up the Browns, and then proceeds to carve up a bunch of other teams.
Yeah.
He's been amazing.
He was holding he wasn't holding the record, but he was on the track for, most passes thrown without an interception. Him and Dak Prescott were fighting it out. I mean, two people going for, in the same season.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in what was considered a very weak quarterback class.
Right.
Exactly. And the number one quarterback not even playing, Jared Goff. Not even playing. Also,
it's like they're on teams that you're not really expecting a whole bunch from. There's Tony Romo goes out, Des Bryant is done. You're like, Dak Prescott ain't got shit. And then he goes out there and just does his business. And then, Carson Wentz plays for the fucking Eagles.
Well,
whoever expected shit from them.
That's funny that you bring that up because that's actually why they lost the last game is because all they have is Carson Wentz and they don't have a wide receiver who can get open. Because basically what happened is, who was it? I don't remember who played them last. Was it? No, it wasn't the Cowboys. Was it the Cowboys? I don't know. I'll have to look that up. But whoever played the Eagles last, they basically were very physical with their wide receivers, pressed them the entire game, and their wide receivers couldn't get open.
I think it was the Redskins.
Yes, it was the Redskins. And not a great team, very average team.
Yeah.
That's just
but they've been,
talent.
How about did you guys watch I know Aaron Rodgers tore it up last night, but
Oh my god.
the big talk though about Aaron Rodgers is like not doing any, how come he's not better?
Aaron Rodgers needed to have the game he had.
Yeah.
Because like no one has. Everyone's starting to lose faith. Everyone's starting to talk mad shit, and he absolutely needed this statement game because otherwise people would be like he's fell off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think I don't know. I mean, it's almost like a funk. Like he hasn't really had a funk in his career up until about the last year, and I think he was. I mean, he doesn't really have funky games. He usually just has, I threw 2 touchdowns, 200 yards. Sorry, couldn't do better.
Yeah.
It used to be his horrible games. So
it's like, Jordy Nelson goes down and he was depressed or something, and then comes back and he's not 100%, and Aaron Rodgers is like having sympathy pains for him or something. I don't know. I'm not in this man's personal life, but whatever the fuck it was. He played on Thursday and just lit shit up. Like you could
like
tell.
A man possessed.
Yes, I was upset because I have Devontae Adams and he's on my bench. 25 points on my bench. Oh.
Yeah, good job, good pick.
Oh god, I couldn't pick
who I
him.
picked?
Who?
The Green Bay defense. How about 11 points? How about defense?
Well, if you're going up against
who am I playing this week?
I don't know. Who are you playing?
Oh my god, I'm doing so shitty in our league though. It's fucking ridiculous. My team imploded.
Well, I'm number 1, man.
Yeah, I know it. I hate it too.
I'm at 500 right now. If it wasn't for Eli Manning's shitty quarterback play, I'd be doing all right. But
whatever. You're forgetting Odell Beckham's shitty fucking wide receiver play that you also have to take into account.
Yeah, well, you know what? He just went off last week, so eat a dick.
Yeah, like I said, one good week out of 6. Good, great, awesome, good job.
Yeah, it's only going to get better.
Okay, you keep on telling you when he's crying and kicking nets, then you come talk to me.
You know what? I probably won't because I'll be too busy kicking net myself. So take that.
I'm just waiting for Odell Beckham to go down like one of the Grammaticas did back in the day, getting all upset, kicking something, and just break a leg, break his foot.
Oh, God. How awesome would that be? Hysterical.
Oh god! I mean, to me, another big surprise has been the Patriots because like this to me cements Bill Belichick as one of the greatest coaches ever. I mean, when you lose your backup, which again looks like the second coming of Tom Brady, how the fuck does he do this? I don't get it. He's all about the molds them in the background, and then it's like, okay, go. All right, you're gonna be trade bait.
It's because they cheat.
Do either of you guys watch House of Cards?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you remember back when Frank was talking about, now watch how much closer to the seat that I get, and he's always like you don't ever see me like, now I'm 5 people away, now I'm 3 people away, now I'm the vice president. See, that's what Bill Belichick does. He gets those sleepers who just creep in, you don't know what's going on, and then bam, Tom Brady.
Yeah, exactly. Like Garoppolo was playing out of his mind. Then they lose him and get Jacoby Brissett, and he played okay. And then he was injured. Yeah. And then they did like fucking college football, like, oh god, what is that? Like the
Edelman's gonna play quarterback and wide receiver.
Well, no, they were actually, if you watch them, they were running like swing plays. They had 3 guys out, and
Bill Belichick
because they're Oh, go ahead.
Bill Belichick could coach his way out of Alcatraz. That dude is ridiculous. I mean, yes, he's also the fucking biggest cheater we've ever seen in football history, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, he's not cheating now. So, but
he is
it's
cheating
amazing
now.
what they're doing.
You just haven't caught him yet.
Yeah, you're right. But the crazy thing is though, is that they're doing all this without an all-star cast. I mean, this is like Danny Amendola, Julian Edelman. These guys are all like below 6 foot.
Mhm.
Not trying to be trying to bring race into it, but like white wide receivers who maybe not are as quick.
Yeah.
These guys are all like these slot receivers playing number one, number two. You got Gronk, but I mean the guy's always banged up. You got Martellus Bennett. He's either boom or bust. Deion Lewis is out for probably most of the season. LeGarrette Blount, I mean, he's a battering ram, but I mean he's pretty one-dimensional. And it's crazy just what they're able to do. But now they got the man back. They got Tom Brady.
And Gronk.
And of course,
Game 1, Cleveland Browns.
That's right. I was ready to say they welcomed him back by serving up the Browns on a platter, starting our fourth-string quarterback.
Oh man,
of the
Browns gave up that
in our fourth-string center. But yeah, so I mean, I don't see anybody in the AFC challenging them. I mean, the Broncos maybe, but
That's it.
The Broncos don't really have a quarterback, though. Yeah, the Steelers are done.
The Broncos' offensive situation is disgusting right now, and
you just need to be able to run the ball. If you can run the ball, if your team can run the ball, your offense will be much better.
Yeah, well, you can say that about any team, though. But
except you actually have a quarterback who can throw it deep. Unlike a lot of people, a lot of teams.
I mean, and Simeon's another one. I mean, like he's not a first-year guy, but no one is expecting much out of him, and he can actually handle the game pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's like an all-star quarterback, but he's definitely one of those guys who you can put the game on his shoulders and he'll hold it up. Like it sucks he got injured, but
yeah.
But yeah, like and we got C.J. Anderson. We could use we don't have. He's good. He's Mr. Anderson is doing pretty good, but it is what it is.
Mr. Anderson.
That's great. Anderson.
And then, the one I want to bring up which is what I've been saying since like the debate on whether or not Luck would sign his contract, is Indy. I was like, I knew they were going to suck. I just knew it. I'm like, he should have just not signed, decided to be a free agent, and find a much better team, because their current GM sucks. Nothing about it. Sucks.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that, Phil.
Moncrief?
Well, yeah, but it's like that's what they keep drafting is they keep giving them wide receivers and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, we know you got T.Y. Hilton and Dante Moncrief, and so here's Andre Johnson, and here's Philip Dorsett, rookie. Yep. Oh, and let's sign old man Frank Gore, which Frank Gore's been all right, but still, you can do better.
You need a line to run through first.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh yeah, we're not going to draft, defensive players. We're not going to draft offensive linemen. We're not. It's terrible. It's like we got Andrew Luck, so who gives a shit? And it's totally backfired in their face.
Yeah, and Andrew Luck is one of those tough guy quarterbacks. You saw him like shaking people's hands after they give him a good hit and whatnot, and I think that's starting to take its toll on him. Mm-hmm. Because like they can't protect him as well, and then he's the kind of guy to knuckle up and take the hit anyway. So he's putting a lot of pressure on his body, a lot of stress on his body, and I think it's finally starting to wear on him. And so they really need to, he needs to go someplace where he has some protection, or they need to get, some people in there to help him out, because, he's already in the, I'll sacrifice my body mindset. So you have to, you have to work around that.
Yeah. And here's the tricky thing too. I think the Colts are going to be a lot like the Ravens here. So if you remember, right after the Ravens won the Super Bowl, it was a contract year for Joe Flacco. They signed Joe Flacco to a crazy amount of money, $100+ million contract. They had to let go a lot of guys because they couldn't afford them. Guys like Haloti Ngata, Paul Kruger on the defensive side. We're going to see that now, though, with the Colts, where it's like we can't like sign free agents or we can't re-sign the guys that we already have. They're going to have to count on hitting in the draft, and I don't know if they can do that.
No, they can't. They've proven that. I mean, the difference was the Ravens actually had draft picks that panned out that they couldn't re-sign.
Yeah.
They got a good GM.
Yeah.
But I think that
no, I said Andrew Luck needed to follow Peyton. That was actually what I said, but it was never going to happen. That would have made Max a very happy man.
Oh my God! If we went from Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck, I would crap my pants. Oh wow! I would just die of happiness.
Andrew Luck leading your offense and Von Miller leading your defense,
God. Von Miller, that man is disgusting. He shouldn't be allowed to do those things to people.
So I do have one more question. Do you all think this is the year Marvin Johnson gets fired? I think Marvin Johnson.
Coach for
Marvin Lewis.
Marvin Lewis. My bad.
Marvin. Yes.
Is who?
Cincinnati.
Actually, you know what? No, I'm sorry. I take that back. I take that back. No, he's not going to get fired, and this is why.
Okay.
Number one, Tyler Eifert's been hurt throughout, the beginning of the season here. Number two, all his great coordinators who are now head coaches, he doesn't have any good coordinators. So, they'll find some excuse with that.
Okay.
And number three, Mike Brown is cheap. And so if he can keep him there and not have to worry about going out and hiring a big-name coach, that's commanding a huge contract, he'll stay where he's at. And that's for Cincinnati.
But at what point in time are you like, Bill Belichick doesn't need any of the things you just complained about not having, and he still wins games?
It's just how Mike Brown operates, man.
Yeah.
He's insane.
I forget about Mike Brown. I forgot about him.
Oh, yeah, he's a terrible owner.
So, and the difference is, I guess Cincinnati doesn't lack for attendance. Once they start lacking for attendance, he might change his mind.
Well, they have trouble selling out their playoff games, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean regular home games. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, now that they're good, they don't have any problem with that. And not only that, too, I believe I want to say 80 or 90% of that stadium is taxpayer money. So it's
oh, wow.
If I lived in Cincinnati, and you best be damn, I'm going to every game to get my money's worth.
Interesting. Yeah. So that was my curious question, just because they're all I would have no problem if their offense was the issue, right? Because they get it, right? He lost his offensive coordinator, but his defense is mediocre, not even decent.
Yeah, and you still have Vontaze Burfict making these stupid hits.
Yep. It looks like he doesn't have control.
Fine. Yeah, it's terrible. And
I mean, I like him, but I just don't think. I think at some point you have to either. I mean, I guess until people stop showing up to games, but I guess as long as people keep coming. Oh, we lost Max.
Well, as long as they're good, the Bengals fans will go, and that's how it is. Here in Columbus, you'll find out that when the Bengals are good, there's an extraordinarily weird amount of Bengals fans around town, and then when the Bengals are terrible, they go away, and it's kind of like how it is. But it's, and the Bengals didn't do themselves any favors in the offseason. Marvin Jones is gone. Mohamed Sanu is gone. So it's all on A.J. Green and Tyler Eifert, who's been hurt. So,
yeah, that's why I don't really put it on the offense. I agree with you, Mike. I don't put it on the offense. I put it, to me, at this point, I'm looking at Marvin Lewis going, you're a defensive coordinator, right? That was what your trade was. And you don't seem to have control of this team. What's going on, especially with some of the players like Burfict, and I can't remember, there was another incident too with Burfict and a few other players, which it's interesting. I think he's a good head coach. I just think for whatever reason he just can't get them there, which
you can't get them over the edge.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Buccaneers fan, right? So I remember Dungy. I remember going, why can't we win a play? Like, we won one playoff game, I think, with him. But we couldn't get beyond. Actually, no, we won a couple, actually, because we got to the NFC Championship games a bunch of times and just never could get to the Super Bowl, which is different than the Bengals, really. So I guess they're not quite there yet.
Yeah. They're not quite Buccaneers status.
Well, they were as far as losing was, but yeah.
They got a half right.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it as far as topics. Do you have anything else?
No, I'm good, man.
All right, cool. That was good. I'll have to try and keep this a little more regular.
Oh, I totally agree. This was great.
All right.
And Max pitched out on us here. I don't know where he went. But
I bet his phone died. That's what I'm thinking.
probably.
All right.
Way to plan ahead, Max.
There you go, Max. Hopefully you catch the end of this. Plan, man. Yeah. Bring a phone, bring a battery, bring spare phones, do something. All right.
That's right.
Later.